Jeez, I swear to God, with this Star Wars 9, you know, this is part of the problem with where Star Wars finds itself now. It just doesn't have any reverence. Um, calling it Star Wars 9, right? Does it not feel like it cheapens it to you? I mean, these are episodes in an overall saga. I mean, at least they used to be. They held some. They were special. Calling it Star Wars 9. I mean, I don't call Empire Strikes Back Star Wars 5, right? I call it either you call it Episode 5, or you call it Empire Strikes Back, or you call it ESB. You call it A New Hope, or Episode 4, or Episode 6, or Return of the Jedi. This is like you have. I mean, there are good movies out there that were, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Rocky 2, The Godfather Part 2, Evil Dead 2. There's nothing wrong necessarily with just calling something a Part 1, Part 2, but the whole Star Wars thing. I mean, these are episodes. It makes me go bananas sometimes when I see this. I don't know. I just think it's lazy. Sorry for the open and mini rant. Let's get back to the matter at hand here. Star Wars not. I can't even say. Star Wars Episode 9 rumor reveals shocking return of iconic villain. Well, here's a group of villains. Okay, so take your pick. He can't come back, but his son will be there. We don't know where he is right now. Is he even alive at this point? Who do you think might show up in this movie? Just who do you think? And why would it be shocking at this point? I mean, they're putting so much into this movie. The only way a character showing up would be shocking to me is if they started pulling in characters from entirely different franchises altogether. So if in Episode 9 at some point Rey comes flying into the screen in her grand entrance on the back of Falkor, the Luck Dragon from Neverending Story, laughing maniacally, that, my friends, would shock the shit out of me. How's it going, everybody? This is Phil, and so good to be here with everybody who's decided to tune in and watch this video. Really appreciate it. Everybody who's a subscriber, everybody who participates on this channel and leaves comments. Life has kind of been crazy and hectic for me lately, so I've been trying to post a video whenever I can, but I'm always around when somebody leaves a comment. I try to answer back, and I do enjoy speaking with people here, so I just wanted to get that out there right away. And without further ado, let's jump into this dumpster fire. This is an article from MovieWeb, and as you can see, the author is B. Allen Orange, and let's get this going, huh? All right, so it says J.J. Abrams is entering the third week of shooting on Star Wars Episode 9, and it's getting increasingly harder to keep all its secrets locked at home base. Yeah, I mean, despite the NDAs, social media bans, old school cell phones, and probably daily body cavity searches, sometimes twice a day, I'm sure. Despite all of that, Mike Zero seems to be posting some form of a leak or a spoiler or a rumor every 20 minutes. I mean, this movie has so much going on. I mean, is it really hard to start a rumor? Look, I mean, just pick a random character and say, all right, ready? Sources indicate Samuel L. Jackson once took a dump in London. Is this connection proof that Master Mace Windu will show up sometime for a scene, or maybe even two, at Elstree Studios? See, there you go. New rumor. Spread the word, guys. So a new rumor, see, there we go. A new rumor claims that an iconic villain will make an appearance in this final chapter of the Skywalker saga. And it makes sense from a certain point of view, as this sequel sets out to wrap up 3 trilogies. Not just that. No. It's way more. It's 3 trilogies, 9 movies, 4 animated shows, if you count Resistance, 2 Ewok films, countless expanded universe books, decades of video games, a special appearance on the original Muppet Show, 1 holiday special, and a partridge in a pear tree. I mean, there's so much that they're looking to drag into this. This may end up being a 3-part episode for the 3rd movie in a 3-part trilogy, in a 3-trilogy franchise saga. Wrap your head around that. Just, Christ, make it all stop. It just go away. Okay, apparently, if we're to believe the hype, there'll be a heartbreaking scene in Star Wars 9. No, I don't believe that for a second. The last time they said there'd be a heartbreaking scene, it ended up being possibly Kylo Ren getting dropped off by Han and Leia with Uncle Luke at Jedi summer camp. It's a bunch of nonsense. I don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype! Don't believe the hype! Don't believe the hype!
And spoiler alert, it not only features Kylo Ren and Anakin Skywalker, it also features the return of Darth Vader. How is this possible, you ask? Well, this is what we know so far, and it could just be a misdirect dumped out, kind of like my Samuel L. Jackson rumor. That was based off of a dump. Whether or not it was a misdirected one, my sources do not indicate, but a dump nonetheless. Dumped out of the Lucasfilm camp to keep fans on their toes. Yeah. So, all right. The Force Awakens. Ew. I don't want to see that. The Force Awakens. In The Force Awakens, we were introduced to Ben Swallow, who started using the sinister alias Kylo Ren as he trained under Supreme Leader Snoke to become a Sith Lord. Kylo was obsessed with his grandfather Darth Vader and had traveled across the galaxy collecting pieces of paraphernalia and memorabilia. So he was kind of like a deadhead. He just followed in the wake of his grandfather. One of his prized possessions was Vader's melted helmet, which he'd often conference with, promising to finish what Vader had started. That helmet was completely abandoned in The Last Jedi, along with pretty much 95% of everything else from The Force Awakens, and one of the reasons a lot of fans plain think that movie stinks. Yeah, be Alan Orange. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's I would like to see in Episode 9. Wouldn't it be great if, like, Luke, now he's a Force ghost. He just goes to his dad, Anakin, and he's like, bro, have you been watching your grandson? Like, he thinks you're still Darth Vader. Like, would you just go down there already and, like, let him know you're good, and that was all a bunch of bullshit, and he was manipulated by the Emperor, and I mean, you're letting us just kind of go through all of this for nothing here. I mean, give us a break, I mean, it's just like, Anakin Skywalker is like a shitty Force ghost, man. I mean, he doesn't show up for anything. Whatever. Look, whatever your personal verdict may be, The Force Awakens headed into The Last Jedi. The core base of Star Wars enthusiasts have made it clear that they want to see more classic content from the original trilogy. Apparently, J.J. Abrams is abiding by that wish. I don't know if I want to see classic content from the original trilogy. What I want is classic Star Wars, and classic Star Wars doesn't have anything to do with classic characters necessarily. It has to do with the way that the stories are told and the characters are developed. And there's action sequences that help move the story forward. Everything has a rhyme and a reason to it. Even if it's a simplistic story, it moves forward very efficiently, and you're not left scratching your head. And when your expectations are subverted, they're done in a great way that helps to enhance the story and has you really coming back for more instead of throwing your hands up in frustration and running out the theater pissed off. When Luke Skywalker finds out that Darth Vader is his father, that's a crazy subversion of expectation. And it's one of the greatest movies, one of the greatest moments in cinematic movie history. And nobody complains about that. I mean, look, I was too young to realize what was going on back in 1980 when that movie came out, but I gotta imagine people were chomping at the bit to get back into the movie theaters for the Return of the Jedi. I don't get that feeling now. What's left to explore after The Last Jedi? That's the problem. You subverted everything throughout a 2.5-hour movie, and you did it and left so many dead ends that the pieces that J.J. Abrams is left to pick up are I mean, really, that movie was catastrophic as far as trying to continue a story and then leave something behind for the next person to come in and continue that story. I mean, JJ's just picking up pieces and trying to make what he can of it. And it's broken. This is all broken. If you break a glass and you glue it back together, it's still a broken glass. And this is as a broken movie. It's a broken franchise in its current state. So, classic Star Wars, classic content. It has nothing to do with the classic characters at this point. We all know that those characters are going away. We can still get classic Star Wars without them. If you look at the trailers that were put out for Knights of the Old Republic with featuring Darth Malgus, those are some of the greatest classic Star Wars type cinematic stuff I've seen in a long time, and it was very easy to get into those trailers, and they were really enjoyable. I mean, when I discovered those, I showed them to every single person I knew that I thought would find them entertaining or was a Star Wars fan, and everybody was like, wow, this is incredible. Why don't they do stuff like this? And that was before Disney obviously bought Star Wars, and then we thought that was the type of stuff we were going to get, with also great characters and story development. And man, were we proven wrong so far. So I don't know. We'll see what happens going forward. So let's see here. It's been long rumored that Abrams plans to tie all trilogies, spin-offs, and TV shows together with Star Wars 9, which sounds a bit ambitious. The movie is rumored to be the longest in the franchise, and there's been heavy speculation that this final sequel could get split into 2, possibly 3. Maybe this last movie would get split into 3 trilogies of its own, giving Star Wars fans Episode 10. Episode X. Look, he wrote Star Wars Episode 10. There is no official word that is happening. Not yet. With Darth Vader's story at the heart of the entire Skywalker saga and his appearance in Rogue One being one of the movie's most cherished moments, even if it does fly in the face of everything that comes just a few days later in A New Hope, you can bet that Abrams and Lucasfilm are going to try to use one of cinema's all-time greatest villains any way they can. Of course, they're using every single thing they can get their greedy little paws on at this point, and that is with a scene that will utilize and embrace both sides of the character. So we'll see Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker on screen together. I guess it's kind of like Fight Club. We know there are Force ghosts. Obi-Wan Kenobi returned from the dead in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and we've seen Yoda, Anakin, and in the cartoons Qui-Gon all return as Force ghosts. The Force Awakens set up the idea of flashbacks, utilizing Force vision. It is believed that Darth Vader will return in one of these Force visions experienced by Kylo Ren as he grapples with his family legacy. Hearing a description of the heartbreaking scene, again, none of this is heartbreaking, that finds Kylo Ren, Anakin, and Darth Vader sharing the screen together. And no Luke? Why not Kylo Ren, Luke, and Anakin? I don't know. It shows Kylo Ren standing in what appears to be a new throne room for himself. In front of him is a wide window looking out to space, and the window is a reflection that seems to be a hybrid Force ghost of Anakin's face, half of which is Anakin, half of which is Vader. There is concept art floating around that reveals this scene, but a lot of concept art created for the various Star Wars movies is never used. The source of this concept art also leaked Luke's final moments on his meditation rock and the planet Act 2 for his embarrassing death, which was leaked before the movie came out. The official companion book for The Force Awakens shows that J.J. Abrams wanted to use the hybrid Darth Vader Anakin Force Ghost in that first sequel. I remember seeing that. That was kind of gnarly looking. And interesting, but I don't know where my level of interest is at this point. So, yeah, you might as well throw it in. But the idea was abandoned. If we're to believe this latest hype, there we go again. He's going back to some of his original ideas and creating this new story. He's going back. JJ's going back to a lot of his original ideas, because Rian Johnson never followed through with anything. So what is J.J. Abrams left to do? But come in and try to piece back together what he can, reshoot as much of Episode 8 as he can slyly sneak into this movie, the things that he intended it to be if he would have actually stayed on and shot Episode 8, and shoot Episode 9, and possibly split it into 2 films and shoot Episode 10. So he's shooting almost 3 episodes at the same time at this point. Not only do we hear rumors of a hybrid Darth Vader Anakin Ghost, but we know Luke will be returning, and J.J. Abrams has confirmed that the Jedi is officially dead. So the younger Skywalker will more than likely appear as a Force ghost. We also hear that Obi-Wan will be back as a Force. We're bringing Obi-Wan back as a Force ghost in this turd of a movie, but we can't get Ewan McGregor supposedly to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. They're not moving forward with that, which I think is nonsense. I think they are making that movie, so, but that's the rumor right now. So the movie might as well be called Star Wars Episode 9, Force Ghost City. Yeah, pretty much. In the new trilogy, Kylo Ren has struggled with a pull to the light and dark side of the Force. He also idolizes his grandfather, so having Anakin help explore this conceit sounds like a very powerful and emotional way for Ben Solo's arc to come to its inevitable conclusion. We saw Kylo speak to Vader's helmet like a lunatic and a madman who is delusional in Star Wars 9. There's a huge chance that Vader will speak back. The sequel is in theaters December 2019. This bit of news comes from Express UK. Kylo Ren is losing it in this movie. If he's going to be talking to a Vader, Vader's good. All right, so Vader isn't Vader anymore. He's Anakin. There is no more Vader. All right, so these are delusions. If this is the case in the movie, so he's going to be cracking up, and he'll be talking to what he thinks is Vader. He's going to be hallucinating, and then Anakin's got to finally come in and slap him in the head and be like, "Dude, would you snap out of it already?" And then Luke, he's got to do his thing. He's going to be bad Uncle Force Ghost Luke. He's going to be torturing Kylo Ren the whole movie. He's going to be tying his shoelaces together, and then Kylo Ren's going to trip in front of the First Order. Everyone's going to laugh at him. That's why he's going to go crazy, because Luke is going to be pulling all these pranks. He's going to put cellophane on the toilet bowl seat before Kylo Ren goes to the bathroom, and he's going to go absolutely bonkers, and then he's going to start talking to Vader. He's going to hallucinate of his grandfather Vader, and then that's when Anakin shows up, because Anakin's going to see his son Luke creating all these issues for his grandson. He's not going to think it's right. It's going to be this whole rigmarole. So it's going to be really exciting Star Wars. This is going to be stuff you've never seen happen in this movie with everything that's going on. I'm jacked. I'm really jacked for this movie. So that is it, guys. Are you shocked? Are you shocked by this news? This rumor is a shocking reveal. Did you expect this? I expect Darth Vader to be in there. I expect anything and everything. I expect Darth Maul. I expect Boba Fett. I expect maybe a flashback with Jabba the Hutt. We already know Falkor the Luck Dragon is supposedly going to be in this. This is everything. I mean, this movie is it's Episode 9, the kitchen sink. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you sometime soon. If you like this video, please feel to hit the like button, comment down below. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing to the video and clobbering that little bell button so the next time there's a video posted up, you will be notified right away. And I'm going to try and catch some Z's, and I will speak to you guys sometime soon, hopefully this weekend. Thanks for watching again. Be happy, be safe, be healthy. Have a great day, guys. Bye.